Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do a homemade, semi-homemade stuffing, okay? And it's a southern stuffing or dressing recipe. And what you're going to do is start out with your the pan that you're going to cook it in, and you want to lightly butter it or grease it. I butter mine. And then you want to cut up 1.5 medium onions and add that to about a stick of butter and saute that in a pan. And then you're also going to cook cornbread. So I have my cooked cornbread here, and so I've got my cornbread, and I have my stuffing, and it's just pre-made because it has the seasonings in it, and I've got a couple bags of those. So here's our pan. We're going to start out by just adding your cornbread, and you want to crumble it up, but you're going to start by adding your cornbread, and then you're going to also add your stuffing mix. And I just like to kind of do just a mixture of all of these things. And I got cubed and then a little bit more finer chop. So we've got that. I'm just going to kind of mix those up as I go, just because I want this to be thoroughly combined. Now also with that onion, you're going to add about a stalk or two of celery, and you're just going to let that cook down. And then you want to go ahead and add some of that in as well. And like I said, we're just going to kind of do this in kind of layers. I just want it to be really well combined. So, and this can be to your taste. You use whatever cornbread recipe you want. If you like to make it from scratch, you can do that. That is what I do. Or you can use a cornbread mix, or anything that you want. So, throw all the rest of this in here. It gets a little full, so that's kind of why I say you don't want to, you want to kind of stir it as you go. And if you guys don't like onions or celery, you can definitely leave that out. That's not a problem at all. In fact, I leave out the celery, but it does give it a nice flavor. So I'm just going to dump it in. And then I'm just going to dump in the rest of my cornbread. And it's kind of easier if you do this with your hands. Alright, so I'm going to finish mixing this up, and then we will be right back. Okay, so you've mixed it up. You can also go ahead at this point and add poultry seasoning or sage. You don't want to add a lot, probably about a tablespoon for this. You need to remember we do have seasoned stuffing mix in here as well. So I added about a tablespoon of the poultry seasoning. That's what I like. And I've combined it in there as well. It's all mixed up. And now what I'm going to do is add chicken broth. And what you're going to do is, if you want, you can make your own chicken broth. However, I did that for Thanksgiving, and to be honest with you, I would rather go ahead and just use the can just to make it a little bit easier on myself. But you feel free to go ahead and make that by scratch. If you'd like to know how to do that, go see my chicken and dumpling video. It will give you the recipe and how to on your homemade chicken broth. It's really easy, but I'm gonna do it this way. Now I went ahead and poured in 2 cans to start. The cornbread is gonna soak up a lot of that, okay? We need a whole lot in here. You can kind of still mix it. I mean, you're not tied down to not being able to mix this around a little bit. So that's 2 cans, and I'm going to go ahead and come back and add some more, and let me grab that. Okay, so I've added 3 cans so far, and I'm just going to stir that up. You want this pretty wet. I am going to put this in the refrigerator. It's Christmas Eve, and I'm going to cook this tomorrow. It's kind of how I prepare all my stuff. I get it ready to go straight into the oven tomorrow. Alright, so definitely going to need some more. I've got my 4th can. You want to make sure you shake these if you do use cans. Shake them really well. Okay. I'll show you guys the consistency. This dressing recipe is it's the stuff. No pun intended. It is so good. It will make you slap your mama. No, you don't want to do that. It's the holidays, but it is delicious. So we're going to go ahead and keep going. I'm going to grab some more and we'll be back. So we're at 4. I'm adding my 5th can now. If you have never tried to do this by scratch, I would really suggest that you do. It is really simple, as you guys can see, and it's just phenomenal. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I only bought 6 cans, and that's exactly what I'm using. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in 6 here. We'll see what we're at. This is coming out really nicely, and you just want to mix it up as you go. Make sure that you get the edges. You want all of it nice and moist. You don't want any dry areas. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish off that can, and that is going to be perfect. Perfect. Alright, now the consistency that we're looking for, you want it to where when you push down, you can just see a little liquid. I'll show you that. Let's see if I can get you guys in here to see that. See how when you push down, you can see just a little bit of that liquid come up. Okay, and this is ready to go into the oven. It's going to go in at about 350, and it's going to depend on how much of this you make. If you do a half recipe, you're of course not going to cook it as long, but I'm guessing probably 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm going to cook it uncovered because I like mine a little crunchier. If you like yours, you know, a little less crunchy and a little more moist, you can always cook it covered. So you're going to put it in the oven at 350, And we're going to let it cook 45 minutes to an hour, and I'll let you guys know exactly how long it took. Alright, so there's our homemade dressing. It went in at about, I actually put it in at 400 for about 30, it actually took about 45 minutes for this one. I left the foil off and I just browned the top of it. I like mine a little crunchier on the top. So I really hope you guys try this. It is delicious, and it's really good to have for the holidays, and it's really easy to do as opposed to the box stuffing. So give it a try, and as always guys, thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.